Hello, guys. Welcome back once again to another 31 Days of Friday the 13th. And yes, I'm going to be talking about the Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. Yes, this was the very first time that anything like this had ever been done, especially for the horror genre in this format. They used a brand new 3D camera to make a Friday the 13th slasher movie. They went all out on doing this, and this is the movie that is known for giving Jason his iconic hockey mask. There's some really cool characters in the film. It's a really good story, very simple story, and it's basically notorious just for that, for having Shelley's character, played by Larry Zerner, give Jason his mask. And a lot of people think that that is one of the coolest things about the movie. And you never see him kill Shelley, but Shelley does show up later on in the movie with like a slit throat, but you just never see Jason's actual initial kill of it. And then Jason shows up and he has the hockey mask, so you know that he killed him and he had it, and he got it from him, which is really cool. But I was watching some documentaries and some interviews and stuff with cast and crew for Friday the 13th Part 3, and they said um, that trying to throw stuff toward the camera or having like a yo-yo or something go toward the camera for the 3D effect was harder than trying to act scared or act at all in the movie, because it took them multiple tries to do everything. They were focusing so hard on getting it lined up with the 3D that they weren't really ready to do the acting part when they needed to. So it was a lot tougher for them to do than the actual acting gig that they had. Um, this Jason continues to be the Jason leftover from Part Two. You got he still runs really fast. He's just very very human esque in this one, and he develops that mask for the very first time. And I remember catching this one just like Part Two. I remember catching this one on TNT Monster Vision a lot during the 90s and early 2000s. And this was one that for some reason I'm not sure why, but I kind of always skipped. I don't know. The movie itself feels like a PG-13 movie disguised as an R-rated film. Like I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it doesn't feel like an R-rated Friday the 13th slasher movie. It feels like there's a lot of cuts that were made to it, and I'm sure that probably was with the MPAA, but it just feels off. Something feels off about it. Maybe it's the 3D. I'm really not sure, but do you guys agree? Does Friday the 13th Part 3 feel off, like out of there's something weird about it that doesn't fit quite right with it being in the slasher genre? Like I said, it feels like a PG-13 movie that's trying to disguise itself as an R-rated slasher film. Um, but the one cool thing I really like about this movie, though, I do like Jason. I really like his look. I like the way he runs. There's a scene where the main survivor girl, I think her name is Chris, she's in the van and she's trying to get away and start the van, and Jason comes up and reaches into the van and she rolls the windows up and he smashes his head into the van window and breaks it. Just really like that scene in general, and I really like the scene in the barn where she hits him. She basically kills Jason. I really like that fight sequence that they had there. The only thing I don't like is they have kind of like a flashback of the main character who ran into Jason years ago and had been scared about seeing him again and not really knowing that it was Jason. But I did not like that about the movie. I thought it was very off-putting, because if somebody goes to that location and has the same thing happen to them, they're going to remember it and they're going to know about who it is. Not just show up in the exact same location years down the road, knowing the story of Jason and stuff, and not know. Like, I don't know. I just don't like that part about it. It's just the one thing in the movie that I just wish they would do away with, um, or would have done away with. But I'm really glad that they did do the 3D effect, just because it does make it stand out. I like the 3D effects of the titles and everything coming at you. The music that comes along with it as well, that kind of like techno horror Manfredini score, is just really, really cool and very unique and different from the other two of the films. And it's not my favorite one. I would give Friday the 13th Part 3 a probably 7 out of 10. mainly just because of giving Jason the iconic hockey mask and just a few of the sequences where people die, I thought were really cool and creative ways. There's one kill where a guy comes out of a bathroom and he's like walking on his hands, and Jason just takes the machete and kind of slashes straight down, and it's just he hits it so hard that I feel it, and definitely feels painful, and that's the one thing I'll remember. And then the girl that was in that same scene with that guy that dies that way, she's sitting on like a hammock and she's reading a Fangoria magazine. I always thought that was kind of cool. You also have the characters of like the Cheech and Chong kind of characters, the one that smokes weed in the van. Those were my least favorite of the two, or of the entire cast, really. I just thought they were kind of thrown in there just for that gimmick, and that was it. I wish they would have had a little bit more stuff to do than what they had. But then again, it is just a little, slasher film. But definitely not my favorite one of so far of the three that I've reviewed. But I take it back. I'm sorry. It is my favorite one of the three that I reviewed, but not my favorite of the franchise. I'll get to that later on down the road. But this movie is the one particular movie that made Jason with his mask. So I don't think without this movie we would have any further installments without them, if they wouldn't have used the mask anymore, and he wouldn't be as popular today if they wouldn't have given him the mask. This one. So. What do you guys think? Do you like Friday the 13th Part 3? Do you not like it? Do you like the 3D aspect of it? What is your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. See ya.